Hi, this is Kimberley. Today I'm pleased to present to you a different take on the Chris Watts Polygraph. I did this with his news media interviews, where he was on the front porch in the driveway, gave 3 short interviews, and it seemed to garner a bit of interest, so I'm going to do it with this, the polygraph. And so what I have done is I have tampered with it, with the Chris Watts polygraph. Yes, I have manipulated part of the Chris Watts discovery. I took out all the likes that CW said, except for the ones that were used correctly in a sentence, not as a filler word. I've done this so we can really focus and concentrate on what Dunderhead was trying to convey. It's unfortunate to say this out loud, but yes, we do lamentably hang on his every word. He uses it, and I'm talking about the word like, in my opinion, as a filler word, to give himself more time to spout his next lie. And he even says, like, not just but like, must be extra special and shit. Especially when he uses like every other word, it starts to get a little unnerving and difficult to crop out. And to put it in a nutshell, that's what I'm doing. I am cropping out when Chris Watts says the word like, because he overuses it. Am I right? Am I right? Am I telling the truth? It's the damn truth, gets on your damn nerves. So, instead of telling him to shut his mouth because his stupid is showing, I've tried to have him come across as a real boy, a smart boy. The instructions that CBI agent Tammy Lee was giving to Numpty got to be a bit tedious. To me, anyway. Maybe they're not to you. But I've heard this polygraph video in parts so many times, and the purpose of this experiment is to really focus on what Dingbat has to say. When I got to the part where Tammy kept saying like so much, it made me want to give up this project. When she started yammering on about her cell phone and her husband, I lost it. I lost my shit. Because she was just blathering. And when I pulled myself together, I modified it even more. This project, I took out some of Agent Tammy Lee's yammering. I couldn't take it, and it was taken away from my grand idea of a project. So it was pissing me off, too. I've not altered anything CW has to say, other than taking out the filler word of like. So please understand that. As with the last video, I only left it in if it was part of the sentence and not a filler word, such as, I like death by chocolate ice cream, instead of, I like death by chocolate ice cream, So please, know this going into the video. No need to point it out to me what I did. Yes, I have altered the speaking of Nitwit and Nancy Drew. It's just so we can get to the meat of this. So don't say such things as, you chopped up Tammy's wording. I know I did. I did it on purpose because it was distracting to my ADD and the reason for this video. We just want to hear what CW had to say. If you're like me, you can get a bit impatient when it comes to something like this. So you want to get right to it, not wait for someone to finish nannering. I really only focused on CW's nannering and not Tammy's. And yes, I do hear those of you in the back rolling your eyes and saying, so then why don't you shut the fuck up and get to it? I am not oblivious to you all. I will, however, ignore you. I was only 5 minutes into this when I realized how much Tammy said the 4-letter word like. It's damn contagious. I don't know. I kept having the impulse to delete hers as well. Now, whether she was simply mirroring, God damn it, that's another word I can't say. My mouth just trips over some. Anyway, I don't know if she was copying him. to make him feel more comfortable at ease. Or if she says like this in everyday life, I don't know. But she uses the word even more. I was really tempted to crop that out too. I did take some of the longer pauses, such as when CW was signing his life away. I mean, signing consent forms and shit. 'Cause we all know how I like stuff to flow and shit, so no long pauses. 'Cause then people start checking to see if the video is still playing and all that. There's points in the beginning, and Chris will use the word like, of course. And it's very telling to me that it's to give himself time to think, because then there will be a pause sometimes, and Tammy and Coder will wait for him to go on, and it's just dead silence. So at some points, he would say like literally every other word. That was difficult to capture sometimes. By 18 to 20 minutes in, I was losing my shit. Tammy wouldn't stop saying like. My opinion of her and how smart she is and shit just went down with this project. I'm sorry to say, at least a couple of notches. Damn it, Tammy, stop it for God's sake. Anyway, I didn't take out all of Tammy's words, nor did I edit and remove her likes. I wanted to, and I almost did, because they were not only talking over each other at times, but the likes were flying everywhere when they were doing that. Like when CW would shake the weeping willow tree in his yard and ticks went everywhere and have permanently damaged his childhood friend, with ugly thoughts and nightmares of ticks drinking his blood, as CW would say to the other little boy. That was mean. That's why I call you Fuckface McGee. You're mean. But something I found interesting is he took a long break from saying like when he talked about the children at the beach, and when he described Jeremy Lindstrom's birthday party for his son and the activities they had there, and that the children had a good time, etc. I pointed this out during the audio of CW with words like he's not saying like during this point to this point, because sometimes he would go a fairly long period of time, and by that I mean a full minute or slightly more, where I did not have to clip like out of his oration to Agent Tammy Lee. So I noted a few of these because these times, in my opinion, he is being truthful. I can almost see him searching the back of his little mind for the details. I would have loved to note every instance that he paused and did not use like, but I don't have the patience for that shit. Y'all know that. Don't ask me to. This was exhaustive as it was. But please, give me your opinion on the few times I noted that CW talked like a big boy. So, the important part and the reason for this video is to listen closely to what Chowderhead was flapping his jaws about, lying about, in his tone. Did he seem broken up over his family being gone? Nope. I can answer that one right now. I tried to skip at least part of the preliminaries where Tammy is trying to set Dunderhead's empty mind at ease. If it's only Tammy talking and it's not pertinent to what Blockhead is about to say, I've cut it out. I've not cut out any of CW's talking except for the word like. That would be silly. That's the whole reason for this silly video. For fuck's sake, for good land's sakes alive. So now, I don't remember. I may or may not have cut out the beginning where CW was fussing about his tummy aches and Good Morning America and the Today Show was calling him and scaring him, and Mama Sandy told him not to talk to the media anymore. I guess she too had seen the previous day's fiasco. But he can't even discuss with Coder where his father should go to eat, or that there's no phone signal in the police station, without using the word like multiple times, for fuck's sake. What I'm saying is, this will not sound exactly like the same polygraph interview you were used to. That's the point. Yes, at times it'll be a little bit choppy. And one thing I will tell you, we did not get the entire interview, because where this video ends on my video, it's where it ends in the discovery as part 1 or 2. And it ends abruptly in the middle of his sentence. And then the next one picks up on a little bit of a different subject because I went to see if I could piece something together. It didn't piece together. So that's how I ended this video. It's the same as in the discovery without what all I've yammered about. Okay? Love you guys. This is part 1 of probably a 3 or 4 part series. All right? So, let's get on with this, shall we? I am genuinely optimistic you will find this as interesting as I do. Much love and peace. Thank you for listening.
Knocking out the polygraph?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that today?
Okay.
Why don't we do that now?
Okay.
Did you meet Tammy yesterday?
No,
it's okay.
the only one.
It's Tammy.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Alright, so then when we're done, we'll figure out our game plan that I was talking about today.
Okay.
Does your dad have availability to use the car if you're going to be here for like an hour or more?
Right.
Oh, he can drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll go explain to him everything that's going on.
Okay. He will know where to go, but the house. He knows to get to the house, but if it's not ready, you can't go in there. But
Okay.
Does he know how you?
Yeah, but he wouldn't know, where else to go besides my house.
Oh, that's true.
There's just no. I mean, yeah, I can tell him if he gets to go to my friend's house.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'd be here for an hour or 4 hours.
You want me to just go talk to him and let him know when the house is going to be ready and all that, and when he can go? Because he can go grab a bite to eat or something, right?
Oh, everything should be open by now around here. So
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure
well,
he's been flying from 5 o'clock East Coast time, so.
Okay, why don't we knock this out?
Okay.
I think it's the best thing to do to move past all of this. And then I'll go talk to your dad. He'll have the keys. Everything will be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have this number, so you can call him when you're done.
There's no signal in this place, so.
As bad as that, that's why I couldn't talk to you earlier.
Yeah, it was.
Between him and me, we'll figure out how to communicate with him and get him where he needs to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been getting text messages from a lot of news places.
Okay.
I don't know really. I mean, not just here, Today Show, or I don't know what to do with that. Okay, so I've been getting different advice. As far as her mom says, if it's a kidnapping, then she said not to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not warned of what to do.
Well,
Her mom told you not to talk?
Yeah, her mom's saying, because she was advised by someone, police or a detective there, that if he talks to the media, it might.
Oh, to the media. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I thought you were talking about to the police.
Oh, no, like just the
Yeah.
media in general, like,
Yeah.
'cause it's gone, Today Show, Good Morning America is trying to get a hold of me, my parents, friends, so I just.
Sometimes we release details that, maybe the public
They want
doesn't
to
know.
with me.
I know, so
And
that's
that's
why.
why I'm like, I don't want to impede with what's going on here and put the things out, because I've watched enough shows that say like, all right, don't put things out there before the police.
Because then you don't know if somebody really knows or if they just saw it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everyone, right?
Okay.
So let's get this out of the way. I think it'll really clear your mind a little bit, right?
All right.
All those.
I haven't responded to any of them.
Let's focus on this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's focus on this. Let's knock it out, and then let's talk.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. I'm going to have a seat right here, Chris.
Sit on this?
Yep, I know. I'll explain what that is here in a little bit, but you don't have to worry. It's not on or anything right now. It's not gonna buzz you or anything.
I've never done this before.
I know. A lot of people haven't had polygraphs before. It's not like a normal thing that people go through. A lot of people, like obviously in law enforcement and places like that, they have to go through polygraphs for their job. But other than that, most people never take a polygraph in their entire life. So.
Yes, I have no idea what to expect, honestly.
Yeah. So how are you feeling today?
I'm sick to my stomach, honestly. The first day I thought, okay, she was just somewhere.
Sure.
And after yesterday, all the activity at my house, I didn't know, it went to the other extreme. I was just sick to my stomach that either somebody has her or she's in trouble and the kids are not safe either.
Right. Anytime, someone was the last person to see people, the Ridgway case, I don't know if you were here for that.
The name sounds
The
familiar.
little girl that went missing in Westminster and
Okay.
that, yeah. Now focus on the real person that did something through this,
Okay.
to Shanann and the little girl, so, okay?
Okay.
So because that helps us, because then we don't have to keep focusing on Chris. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. This polygraph today is going to be recorded.
Okay.
Obviously, it would be dumb if I didn't, because what if at the end I said you said whatever and you really didn't say it? Obviously, they could go back and look at the recording. There's a camera right there. There's also a backup digital recording that I'm doing.
Okay.
Your cell phone, is it off right now?
And
At least a couple hours
Okay.
to do the polygraph, just because it's a real structured That's not at all how polygraph works.
That's what I thought it worked.
Yeah, you're actually going to probably know more about polygraphs. Obviously, you're probably nervous about taking today's test. Honestly, I would think something is wrong with you if you weren't nervous about coming in here to take a polygraph. Yeah. Even if people are like, I don't have anything to hide, it is nerve-wracking. And I have taken tons of polygraphs, obviously, in my that today. Okay? So that should give you some confidence that, you know, this is how, like, you're going to be cleared today if you had nothing to do with it, okay? You know, nervousness or anxiety cannot cause you to fail a polygraph. A lot of people think that, too. That's okay.
I thought that's how it worked.
On nervousness?
Yeah.
No. There's actually only 2 ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. Lie to me today, okay? You know, people aren't going to remember every single detail every time they talk to someone. I mean, I hope that, you know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it would be really dumb. Like, you should not be here right now sitting in this chair if you had anything to do with Shanann and the little girl's disappearance. Okay? Okay. And it's Celeste and Bella, is that right?
Yeah, I'll call her CC too.
CC, okay.
If that comes up.
Okay, perfect. So, and I know very small amount about the case.
Okay.
Just because I want to know less about the case, because I want to tell me like you were telling someone for the very first time about what happened when we get into actually talking about what happened.
Oh, no, yeah, I saw that last night.
So there's a key in there now, you out, okay? And at any point today, even after all these components are attached to you, if you decide at that point, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, this is BS, whatever, that is completely fine. Just please allow me to unattach my components before you drag my $6,000 instrument on the floor and run out of here. And it's kind of a little maze back here, so I will show you the way out at any point if you decide, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. That is completely fine. Even in the middle of the polygraph if you don't want to continue to take it, okay? So, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you kind of a roadmap of where we're going to go today, just so you know what to expect and that kind of stuff. Okay, rights and consent form, and that's that Miranda rights form. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know, you hear it in polygraph. I want to make sure that you didn't smoke, you know, 10 bowls of weed, you know, the night before, sleep, and you're not. I mean, obviously, no one's getting a lot of sleep, probably since Monday, but just so we can talk about all of that, okay?
Sure.
Any of this has happened, and you're basically having to relay all of the details of exactly what happened with Shanann and the girls, okay? And just so you are completely clear in your mind, when Tammy asked me this question, this is exactly what she means, this is exactly what she's asking, and this is the answer that I have for that question. A pretty big process that goes along with it.
Okay. Work.
Yeah. So did you, you're not working today, right?
No.
Do you have a date that you're going back to work?
Not at the moment.
No. How long have you worked for Anadarko?
January 2015.
So
about 3.5 years, almost.
Yeah. Do you like it there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I worked for Covenant Testing Technologies before that.
What is that?
That contract company for oil and gas.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I worked for Ford for 11 years as a technician.
Oh my goodness. So does that translate into
no? Well, it's mechanical. I mean, I fix things, and when I moved out here, I worked at Longmont Ford.
Okay.
And I moved up pretty fast there, but I hit kind of plateau. That kind of just, I couldn't go, it got stagnant. And I was having this carpal tunnel syndrome, both my hands, and I mean, it was bad. I was doing this all day, you know, it was bad.
Yeah.
So,
you still have that? I don't even know. Can you get rid of carpal tunnel?
It was just the onset of it. It wasn't full on, I need to have surgery type thing, but now it's so much better. It doesn't have the pain. There's a lot of mechanical things you do in oil and gas, but it's not as repetitive as the car industry is.
So are you, excuse my language, are you a worker bee or are you like a boss guy?
A little bit of both.
Okay. So you're getting your hands dirty too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a field coordinator right now for the area. I have 6 route operators and 2 rover operators. So that's what I'm kind of just over them right now, and we game plan we look on the computer on our well summary screen and kind of go from there to see what kind of problems we might have throughout the day.
Sure. And
describe this is what we need to do. You go here, there.
Okay.
So everybody's doing kind of middle part of the day, and everybody needs help and try to get everybody checked out 3:30 or something like that.
Oh, that's nice. But you go to work pretty early.
Yeah, we start for 6:30, somewhere around there, so.
That's super early.
Oh, yeah, you have to get there early, because you just never know what could happen, so.
That's true. That is true. So what, do you have an ID on you, Chris, that I could, are you named after anyone?
No.
No?
My middle name, just my dad's middle name, but other than that, no.
Okay. If I mispronounce your wife's name, please, like, correct me.
Yeah,
For some
this
reason,
thing
it
goes,
is so hard.
this thing goes Shenanigans.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I got it.
That's the way she tells people.
Does her family call her Shanann?
So the way they spelled it, it was like Shanann, like with an apostrophe, but she just calls it Shanann. That kind of, she was named after Shanann.
Oh my
That
gosh.
makes,
Okay.
okay, so.
Is it B-E-L-L-A?
For Bella, yes.
Okay.
And Celeste is C-E-L-E-S-T-E.
Perfect. All with the same last name?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, Chris, this is that advisement and rights form. This just says that Agent Tammy Lee, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and to have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of those rights? Were they read to you, Chris? So I'll just have you write, I guess, when we get to that. And then having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now and obviously go through with the polygraph? Okay, perfect. So what I want you to do is go ahead and answer both of those as yeses, if you still agree with that, and then sign and date that signature line, if you would. Have you always been a Tar Heels fan?
Yes. 15th?
It is, yeah. My son is like a huge Tar Heels fan. I don't even know why he likes them, but maybe because the Nuggets suck. I don't know.
Well, George Carl used to coach here too, and he was a Carolina guy.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you go to any, like, do the Nuggets play Carolina? North Carolina?
Oh, North Carolina is the college.
Oh, college. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you go to college then?
No, I wish I did.
You
That was
wish?
nice.
Yeah. Well, where did you go to college?
I went to NASCAR Tech in North Carolina as well.
NASCAR is the name of it?
Man, it was a mechanical school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
It focused on regular automotive and then the NASCAR portion as well.
Oh, very cool. Did you learn a lot of stuff?
Oh yeah.
Is that like kind of elite mechanical school to go to?
It was part of the Universal Technical Institute. It was part of their program, plus the NASCAR part, plus I went to the Ford, the FAC program there as well. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you have any other nicknames or anything that people call you?
It's Chris.
Just Chris.
It's just random ones at work. Just doesn't make any sense. So.
Like what?
Some call me Rain Man because when I go to a site or something, if I do it once, I'll remember it, and this is one of those things.
Like, do you remember like phone numbers and license plates and
Oh,
like that?
well, that stuff I don't really pay attention to that stuff though. When I was really young, my grandma used to always quiz me on state capitals every day, and when I was waiting for my sister to come out from middle school or stuff like that, she was always just pinging stuff off my memory.
Really?
And it just hit everything. I think that's how it built.
Yeah.
For what it was and what it is.
No doubt. That was your grandma that did that?
Yeah. My mom's mom.
Is she still alive?
No, she passed a few years ago.
Was she pretty old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Lived a good life?
Yeah, she was.
Good. Were you close with your grandparents?
Yeah, I went over to her house every afternoon after school and helped her out.
Nice.
Being outside or stuff on the inside, and she always cooked me lunch, some German food, kernels and goulash, schnitzel, all kinds of stuff like that.
So Shanann's legal name is hyphenated?
I've never seen it written that way, but
okay.
That's the way her parents always said. That's how they did it.
Okay.
Shan and apostrophe A-N-N.
Okay. It's easier to say it when I spell it out, but
Yeah.
and we keep wanting to say Shannon, of course, but a lot of people call her Shannon. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
oh yeah. Her parents sometimes call her Shannon.
Have you talked to her parents at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, are they being pretty decent and good? Are they coming here?
I'm not sure yet.
Who, like,
My dad's here.
Your dad's here. Is there any
Yeah.
other family members of yours coming?
Not right now.
No.
Just my dad came out and just for support. He just got here this morning.
That's nice. What a nice dude.
Mm-hmm.
To the people that need to know. Does
Right.
that make sense
Yeah.
to you? So where did you stay last night? Because I know that.
Nick and Amanda's house. Nick and Amanda Thayer.
How do you know them?
So Amanda used to be a director at Primrose School where Bella and Cece go, but then she transferred to another place, and Shanann was getting her own Thrive, and that's how they met.
So the Amanda's transferred to another Primrose?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Shanann couldn't talk to them about Thrive, the direct sales business, while they weren't allowed to talk, outside. If their child goes there, I don't know, something about the school rules or something like that. So once she left, she talked to her about Thrive and got her on Thrive, and then me and Nick started running together here and there, and that's how we met.
So is she like a, what do they call them, a downline from Shanann?
Yes.
Okay, so she's like one of the sellers that.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't even understand Thrive. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm even a chick, and I don't understand what all of that Thrive stuff is about.
It's vitamins and minerals, and it's all plant-based, non-GMO stuff. It's really healthy for you.
Yeah. Do you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 245 pounds when I started.
No way.
Yep.
How long ago was that?
2016.
Wow.
I've been doing it for a while.
Oh my gosh. I think the only thing I know about Thrive is like patches or something. Is that what that is?
Well, it's 3 steps. You have vitamins. You have 2 capsules you take when you wake up, 2 pills.
Okay.
And then you take a shake with water and put on a patch.
You have a patch on right now?
No.
Oh, I want to see what a patch looks like.
It's just a little square piece that just kind of goes on your skin and it absorbs. It opens up your pores a little bit, and the vitamins kind of absorb through your skin, time release throughout the day.
Like, can you tell you feel better when you have the patch on?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
How much are patches?
Just the patches themselves.
Or are you supposed to do this in combination with all the other
The
stuff?
3 steps.
Okay.
That's what I call it, the 3 steps.
I feel like you could sell it. I feel like you know enough about it. You could sell it.
She has me on the as I signed up underneath her.
Oh, okay.
So I'm part of her team.
Oh, okay.
But she kind of runs that part of it because I'm not the type of seller. I'm not a seller.
Yeah.
I don't like.
You're not a salesman.
Yeah, I would say too much. She says about the product.
Like sometimes it's not so great because of this, or.
Yeah, I would just give out too much information about the product instead of having them call her.
Do you sell it to any of the people that you work with?
There's one person that I work with that uses it.
Who is that?
Troy.
Troy?
Yeah, he
I
works.
think I heard that name, Troy McCoy or something. That's a funny name.
Yeah, we call him Real McCoy.
So he works for you, is that right?
He works with me. He's the other field coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot more experience than I do. He worked in Kansas before he came here.
Kind of shows you the ropes.
Yeah, he showed me a lot about different things, and I picked up a few things that he didn't know, and we worked together pretty well.
Nice. Is Troy married?
Yes.
Oh, yes. So do your families hang out at all?
A few times we have. His kids are older.
Oh, okay. Like how old are they?
11, 10, 8, and 7.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there.
There's 4 kids?
Two of them.
Oh, okay. Like a blended family?
Yeah. I think he met her when she had 2 kids already.
Oh.
Yeah.
And how, what's your date of birth?
5/16/85.
How old does that make you today?
33.
And where were you born at?
In Fayetteville, North Carolina.
How do you spell Fayetteville?
FAYETTEVILLE.
Do you say Fayetteville?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this says you're 225. Is that correct?
180.
Okay. Was that a lie on here?
What year? What year was that?
That was 2014.
No, I was 225 then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gained some more weight.
What do you think made you gain weight then?
Celeste, pregnancy.
Oh, really?
I gained more weight than she did.
You're a sympathetic eater.
When I went and got her Oreos, I ate a few on the way upstairs. I'm not gonna lie. That happened a lot.
Now, can you do the Thrive stuff when you're pregnant? Is that safe for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all natural or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's different variants of the patches that she can't use because some of it's for weight loss.
Oh, you don't want to lose weight while you're pregnant, right?
Or it's more for fat loss, and they recommend not using that type of patch.
Okay. So as far as growing up goes, and I'm actually done with that, so you can put that away. Thank you so much. Who all live in your family? Who did you live with?
My mom and dad,
Okay.
my sister.
And your sister?
Yeah.
So just 2 kids?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your sister's name?
Jamie.
Have you, is Jamie coming, or have you talked to Jamie?
I've talked to Jamie and her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Jamie?
So she'll be 40 this year.
Okay.
She's 39 right now.
Okay. So she's a little...
Yeah, she's 7 years older than me.
Yeah. So you were at home by yourself for a little while, huh?
Yeah, we didn't really get close until I got older because I was such a big age discrepancy.
So you get along with her well now, and her husband and stuff. Do they have kids? Two kids?
Yeah.
How old are their kids?
10 and 7.
10 and 7. Do you get to see them very often? Or?
I just saw it when I was in North Carolina.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Nice. When were you in North Carolina?
So it was the August 1st to the 7th.
Nice. And how far did you get in school?
So I graduated from high school and I got through the NASCAR Tech program.
Nice. So you've got a GED or an actual diploma?
So it's like a certificate, I guess. It's not really a diploma because it doesn't have English, math, science there. It's just strictly mechanical.
No, but through high school.
Oh, yeah, I got a diploma.
You got a diploma?
Oh, yeah,
okay.
definitely.
And then you got a
certificate from NASCAR Tech that I completed their programs. I guess it can't be a degree without, English, math, and science and stuff like that.
Did you always know that that's what you wanted to do, was the car stuff?
It was, if I could go back, I'd probably just use that more like a hobby. And maybe dive more into the technology part of it, because we have an Academy of Applied Technology when I was there. In the high school I was in, maybe go into more of the computer programming part of it.
So are you like a pretty techie guy?
Not I would say techie, but I understand numbers and math a lot. That's with working on these wells. There's a lot of programming, a lot of setting up these wells to make them run, and using the numbers, the pressures to optimize the wells is something.
You already lost me. Like I do that job. No, I did not do that job.
That's why I helped Troy. He knows more of the stuff that was like 10 years ago type of thing, and I know more about perhaps the more of the stuff that's happening right now.
Sure.
And that's how we kind of work together. If you have to work on a pumping unit, all right, I'll help.
You got this.
If I get working on a normal well and setting it up, he's just, here you go. I'll just watch.
Are you kind of that person in your
family?
I
do that. I can do that kind of stuff. I can't do code or anything like
right.
that. But
you're not writing computer code?
No, I can't. 0-1-0-1. That's all that kind of stuff.
Right. Okay. Awesome. So, in your job now, like, what is your title?
So I'm a field coordinator.
Field coordinator. Okay. And you've done that for 3.5 years or whatever?
So I was an operator. It's the same. You're an operator. You're operating the oil and gas locations. I was an operator, and then I was an operator / rover, go around helping people, and now I've went up to field coordinator. Now I just tell people like, this is where we need to go, and we need help, let's go there.
So when did you actually get promoted to that?
When one of our other field coordinators, went to a different group, the HGOps group, and our other field coordinator had to go down to Texas to help, so me and Troy got elevated up. So that's what happened. Okay. We were just kind of backfilling. We didn't know if it was permanent or not, and it turned out to be permanent. So. Wow,
that's awesome. So tell me about, kind of give me a synopsis of your childhood, like what your parents did for a living,
My dad was a parts manager for a Ford dealership.
Okay.
It's kind of where the cars things came
right.
from.
See it.
And my mom, she was a secretary and notary for used car dealership.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she sold the cars too, but she's more of a secretary notary, and she bounced around a couple different used car dealerships. My dad stayed at the same one, changed the name a little, changed names, then he went to a different one, but it was he did the same thing, and he did parts manager and body shop manager, and that's where he's still at now.
So how would you say you grew up as far as your family structure is growing up?
So we went to church, I would say not every Sunday, but pretty regularly,
And what church did you guys go to?
It was First Baptist Church.
Okay.
And discipline, I was the quiet kid. I was I just kind of followed it. My sister was the rebellious one that always, and my sister was the one that got the most of she was the one that showed me that's what I don't want to do.
Right.
I would wake up to my mom and sister pretty much arguing every morning. That's how I went, okay, I don't want to wear this, I don't want to wear that, okay.
Or whatever you want.
I was just going, if I didn't do it, don't wear it today.
Right.
That thing. But yeah, my dad, he was a disciplinarian.
He was?
Yeah.
What kind of discipline did you guys have in the home?
It wasn't physical or anything like that. It was just, just verbal, this is what you need to do. And just follow that. If my dad ever raised his voice, I knew that wasn't a work phone, sorry.
Oh, okay. I was like,
whoa, forgot about that.
I'm kind of now. I'm not in the middle of the text. No, you're good. You're good. I have 2 phones too, and it's hard to keep track of them. So.
Yeah, my work phone, sorry. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. Okay, so you said your dad was a disciplinarian, but he just...
it was verbal, because if he raised his voice, I knew something was that's okay. I'm good there.
Right. Did anyone struggle with drug or alcohol abuse or anything like that in your family?
No, My dad did at one point, but it was after I left. After I graduated, everything, and I just, because my sister, she would leave and she'd come back, leave and come back, leave and come back. She never.
Like runaway kind of thing?
Oh, no, she would move. She went to East Carolina, and that didn't work out, so she came back home. She moved to a different place, and that didn't work out. She came back home type thing. And when I left, I was on my own, and I was self-sufficient, and I never came back, and I think that hit him pretty hard.
So they expected you to come back, do you think?
Oh, he was used to me being around. You know, he's my hero, he's my best friend.
Your dad is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where I think that kind of hurt him a little bit, because once I left, I didn't move back.
So tell me, when did you, so you're talking about for college, like as soon as you graduated,
Yeah.
you moved out? So is NASCAR close to where you guys live? Like,
No, once I graduated high school, I moved to Mooresville, North Carolina. That's about 2 hours away,
okay.
and that's where I
And
live.
I
I never moved back. I mean, I came back to visit, but I never moved back.
Okay. So you go to college, is it a 4-year college, 2-year college?
And that program I finished in 52 weeks, so it was a year and a half, almost 2.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait.
That's like a
No,
year.
72 weeks, sorry.
Okay.
72 weeks.
So a year and a half. And then where did you go after that?
I worked at Mooresville Ford and worked there till 2012, so 2003. That's when I was going to NASCAR Tech, and I was working there as a porter, moving cars around, changing the oil here and there type thing. And then once I graduated, they moved me into more of a line tech as far as like actually fixing things.
Okay.
So from 2003 to 2012, I was there, and then 2012 to 2014, I was on Mount Ford.
Okay. Did you have like any high school sweethearts or like girlfriends from NASCAR Tech or?
There was no.
There's probably no girls at NASCAR Tech, I would imagine, but.
There was a handful of girls that actually went there, so no, I didn't have any girlfriends hardly after high school.
Okay. What about when you got done with NASCAR Tech?
Oh yeah, like there was a girlfriend in Mooresville in there, but nothing really serious.
Nothing serious?
Yeah, I met Shanann in 2010.
Oh, 2010?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you guys date before you got married? I'm assuming you're married?
Yeah, 2012 is when we got married.
Okay. Dated a couple of years?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Now, did she live in Mooresville?
She lived in Belmont at the time.
So how did you meet her?
Through my cousin's wife. And my cousin's wife and Shanann, they knew each other from a wheel shop that she ran.
That Shanann ran or the cousin's wife?
No, that Shanann ran. She ran 3 different stores.
Like auto parts people?
Wheels, tires, audio, custom stuff.
Oh my gosh, you're just all in that.
All in part.
Okay, so we're gonna, I'm just gonna ask you some of the medical questions just to make, again, sure that you're a suitable subject. And you said you've never taken a polygraph.
Nope.
How would you describe your physical condition right now? Good, fair, or poor?
I'll say good.
Good. Awesome. Have you had any major surgeries or injuries within the last 6 months? Are you in any discomfort right now?
As far as like pain and like
Yeah.
No, not really.
You know, maybe mental anguish or whatever, but
Just
as
like,
far
yeah,
as like
just,
physical or
like fixing my
your
stomach type thing.
Yeah. Obviously you're not pregnant.
Nope.
Have you eaten in the last 24 hours?
I had a pizza last night and protein shake this morning, but that's it.
Okay. What time did you have the pizza?
So right when I left here, so it was like 11.
Okay. And what time did you have the protein shake?
Probably about 7:30 this morning.
Was that with all your 3-step process?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time did you go to bed last night?
Probably about 12:30.
Okay. And what time did you get up?
Probably about 5 and just kind of looked at my phone.
Okay. And you stayed at the other Amanda and
Nick
Nick?
Amanda house.
Okay. And how would you rate your sleep, good, fair, or poor?
Is there anything between 4 and fair?
I'll put it in the middle.
Okay.
Okay? I'll give you that box. Have you had any alcohol within the last 24 hours? Do you drink alcohol?
Only if I'm going out somewhere, friends coming over. I don't drink by myself.
Okay.
That's not, I don't think that's really.
How often would you say that you drink in a given week? Like how many beverages would you have?
If I drink something, just be 1 or 2.
1 or 2 beers? Or
Yeah, beers. I don't do it.
No hard alcohol?
No.
Okay. Any legal or illegal drugs consumed within the last 24 to 48 hours?
No.
That includes even cough medicine, you know, anything like that?
No.
So you just had vitamins, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now Chris, we're going to discuss the reason why you're here, okay? So now what I would like you to do is, again, kind of treat me like you know, someone that has no idea about anything, and that you actually have to start from the entire beginning, like kind of start when, I would say when you met Shanann, just kind of explain your relationship, I guess, just so I understand it, as far as, you know, meeting in 2010 and, you know, when the kids came about and that kind of stuff, and then just bring me up to the point of, you know, yesterday.
Okay.
If you could.
All right, so 2010 is when we met pretty much through Facebook because of my cousin's wife, and she recommended us as friends type thing, and that's how we kind of started talking. And our first date was at a movie theater. Didn't really impress her much because it was actually a nice theater. I didn't really know what I was walking into. As far as I walked in, and there was a doorman, and he was all dressed in a suit, and I was in camo shorts and DC shoes, and yeah, I was like, okay, hopefully I'm very underdressed for this. But I walk in, I see her, and she's all dressed really nice, and she told me after the fact, man, I hope that's not him. kind of deal, because we know what each other looked like, but I wasn't really dressed for what we were doing then. But on the second date, I actually made a mistake again wearing the same thing because I kind of forgot what I wore. So I went to a K-Rock concert, and I think that's kind of where I won her over, because we actually got to the actual concert, and I forgot my ID, so I couldn't actually get in. So I actually ran back 2 miles to the car and got it and came back. And I was just soaking wet. I was just middle of July, August in South Carolina, and humidity and everything like that. It's on Army base. So I ran back, got it, and everything like that. And then I think it was our next date, we actually went to Myrtle Beach, and she had lupus. Well, her lupus was really acting up in North Carolina. So she had these flare-ups, joint pains, all that kind of thing. And we were driving back. She laid on me pretty much the entire way back, and I think that's when she realized, like, this guy's actually pretty nice, because he didn't tell me, like, all right, get off my lap or type thing. I just let her just rest on me the entire way back, 2.5-hour ride from Myrtle Beach to Charlotte, the Belmont area. But yeah, everything flourished from there. In 2011, I proposed to her over in Ocean Isle Beach. That was around our anniversary, and I did a ride there on the beach at night, and I could tell, I mean, she was extremely tired, and I just wanted to do this, so I wanted to do it today. And she said, why are you being so persistent and get me out here right now? So let's go out to the beach. It's a nice night. Proposed to her on the beach, said yes, and everybody was ecstatic and everything. And she's very organized. She's OCD about organization, putting things that you saw in the pantry. Everything's just named in a container all the way down. It's very easy for, if you just came into our house, you would know what stuff was. You would know where everything was. It would be easy. So everything was just, she was planning the wedding. Everything was great. And then 2012, she were here, but she was planning the wedding from here. But everybody was back in North Carolina. So it was a, guess you call it destination wedding if you want, because they fly back for that. But we got married in the DoubleTree Hilton Hotel that was there. It was in the court. It was in November, and it was underneath one of those big tents and everything. It was beautiful, and it was amazing. And we went to Myrtle Beach for the honeymoon, and then 2013 December 17th, that's when Bella was born. We've been trying for a while, and nothing was happening as far as getting pregnant or whatnot. And she said, so since we're not getting pregnant, since it's not happening, I'm going to buy a supercharger for your car. Okay. And then it turned out that weekend we conceived Bella.
Oh, no.
So that week she bought me a supercharger for my car. So it was
Did you take that back?
I'd already put it on. And it was actually like a special order part that was sitting in another dealership. Okay. So it was ironic that it happened that, you know, bought a supercharger for my car, and then that weekend conceived Bella. And then Bella was just a gift. I mean, she didn't think she could get pregnant because of the lupus and everything like that. The doctor said it could happen, it might not, but it happened, and it was a blessing in disguise right there. Oh my goodness, it just happened, you know. So,
did she have normal pregnancies?
Like,
was Bella's normal?
Bella's was she had shoulder dystocia when she was born.
So was it like the shoulder was?
She was turned.
Oh, just turned.
Yeah, that's where we had it. Push her out.
But she had a vaginal birth?
Oh yeah, all that. That was.
Cord wasn't around her neck?
Nope.
Or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Nothing like that. So Bella was born December 17, 2013. and she was a gift, so we just go along with Bella, and then and Cece was born July 17th, 2015, and we had this whole little thing staged up with Bella in the crib and a little eviction notice. She was there, and it worked out pretty well because she was just staying there crying, like, I don't want this type of thing,
I saw one of those that went like viral on Facebook, so that's weird. It would be yours.
Yeah, she was sitting there crying with a little eviction notice, and she recorded it. It was an amazing day just to see that. And then Celeste, I was there. She had a midwife for this one, so they actually had her. You can stand here, catch her, but Celeste came out so fast that I barely had a chance to go like this, and they moved me out of the way because she just came out. So it was, Celeste, I was a lot better with Celeste because with Bella, I didn't really know a lot what I should do, what I could do, how to calm, stuff like that, burp, swaddle, everything like that. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea. I just pretty much watched, right, how do you do this? And then with Celeste, it was more of like, that's why Bella she's a mommy's girl. Then when Cece was born, did you care if it's Cece or Celeste?
No,
okay.
Go for it.
All right, when Cece was born, it was more, all right, I know how to change the diaper, I know how to do all this. I can do this, I can help a lot more. That's why Cece is more of a daddy's girl now. Whenever she gets in trouble, it's just, she said, and Shanann gets mad because, all right, don't cuddle her. For when she gets in trouble, she just bit Bella, she just hit Bella, like, don't coddle her. That's where I'm going to coddle her. So it's having them both around is just absolutely amazing. They're like two peas in a pod. Celeste is more than rambunctious, just all out. She either goes or she's sleeping type thing. So she's always getting in trouble, always trying to find something to climb, jump off of.
Is that like you or is that like Shanann?
Bella's more like me. She's more of the calm, she's cautious type thing. When Cece, I think, fed off of Bella a little bit as far as, all right, she's my sister, she's the younger one, she's the youngest person in here besides me type thing. And she kind of fed off of her and some of her friends that came over. And that Cece just kind of built that attitude. She was a rambunctious little munchkin, like if I could show you a picture, but it was off. But when she was on the plane coming back, she just had this space like that. Don't.
So she was excited to be on there, or?
Oh yeah, it was just like being. You can imagine a little kid in a plane in a seat. She loves to move around. She doesn't like sitting in the same spot type thing. And then when Shanann told me about the third child, it was let's see what we got now. See if we can boy or girl. We're trying for a boy. So now we're just.
Is it a boy?
We haven't told anybody yet, but yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Did they find that out that early, or?
At 12 weeks, they could find out. Really.
Oh.
She had one. The ultrasound was last week. Let's see. Yeah, it was last week. So, found out it was.
Were you both there for
yes.
that? Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was right when we got back. So this guy went back on the 8th. So it was on the 8th. That was the ultrasound. Get my days mixed up like now. I'm not sure even what day it is right now. But yeah, we had ultrasound.
15th today.
I was thinking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we haven't told anybody yet. So
both the girls were born out here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Bella was born at Good Samaritan. Cece was born at Vista. Did
Shanann go through any like postpartum or anything like that with either of them?
No.
No?
Didn't see anything like that.
Good. Did she breastfeed?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay. Very cool.
Bella a little longer than Celeste.
So Bella was how old when she got pregnant with Celeste?
So they're about 19 months apart.
Okay. So like 10 months old?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you were like, oh my gosh.
No, we didn't know if it would happen again.
That's true. So were you guys even using protection, or are you just like, it's not going to happen, so it is what it is?
Yeah, it is.
We'll take what God gives us, kind of thing. Very nice. Okay, so keep going from after Celeste was born.
So after Celeste was born, we kind of thought, we kind of see how two kids went. They're just rambunctious, they're their sister Love, and now they're 4 and 3. Bella will be 5 in December. So if it happens, it happens. As far as like having, like, she used fertility drugs on both Bella and Celeste.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Okay.
The third child now, she was on no medication, nothing like that. She's just on Thrive. She's healthy. She feels healthier now.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the Thrive, she really thinks, I mean, we only tried twice, and it happened.
Oh,
So she really thinks that it was more being a healthier person.
sometimes just having the stress off, like, you know, having my kids, so this is just a bonus. If, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like,
that could definitely.
seems like a lot of women think, oh, you know, we can't get pregnant, and they have a baby, and then they're not worried about it anymore. So then they get pregnant again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't think it would happen again. So,
Definitely.
yeah. So, tell me about after that. So.
Yeah, after we didn't think it would actually happen, so we really think that being a healthier lifestyle, being healthier, really helped this. I mean, only really trying twice, and boom, it happened. So it's just been.
And when did she find out she was pregnant?
I would say it was in probably the first or second week of June.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not very long ago.
Yeah, she's about 14, 15 weeks right now.
Okay. So, why don't you bring me up to, why don't you start with, like, if you guys went to North Carolina, so maybe just start from the trip to North Carolina. I guess you met her there maybe for part of it, is that right?
Yeah, she was there. So we got back we went to a Thrive trip in San Diego, and it was the end of June.
Okay.
And then I think it was June 26th, that's when we came back here. Her dad was watching the kids. And then later on that day, they flew to North Carolina.
Okay. So why don't you kind of start there and just take me up until yesterday?
Okay.
And as
So,
detailed as you can.
Okay. So while they were in North Carolina, they're there to see my family and obviously her family, and just kind of, because they haven't seen the kids in a while, as far as our kids. And so they were just there. She had a couple things she wanted to do there, as far as like meeting up with her promoters and customers. That she had a bunch over there in North Carolina, so she was hoping that she could meet everybody else over there and have her dad, and mom, and my mom and dad have fun. With the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Three babysitters, heck yeah.
I know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was mainly like just a little family vacation for them right now, for them on that trip, for everybody just to see the girls. And Celeste's birthday was during that, on July 17th. So they had a birthday party there with jumpy houses and stuff like that, and they FaceTimed me during it so I could see it. They didn't have a birthday party out here for her because it was, when they got back it was in August, so.
Right.
So, but yeah, I got to FaceTime and watch it all, and it was pretty much just hanging out with family the entire time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was here just going to work and working out and going running and just keeping the house up and doing that, and I waited till my flight was July 31st, and I flew out there for a week, and I flew out there for a week so I could fly back with them. So we went, July 31st, I got there, stayed at her mom and dad's house. The next day we drove to the beach, stayed there for about 4 or 5 days. It was in North Myrtle Beach. And first time the kids were seeing the beach. So they were ecstatic, obviously seeing waves, being in the sand. They love sand. Unfortunately, they love sand. Because it's just like you get them back, you just got to shower them off. Because Cece was so into the beach that her bathing suit was just full of seashells. It was like, okay, let's get all this off of you and rinse you off, please.
Right.
But yeah, it was an awesome trip. Just seeing them react to the ocean, and then we went to like Broadway at the beach. It was in Myrtle Beach, like an outdoor little mall, and they got to go in these little. They strap you in a harness and you get to jump higher. And Bella and Celeste, they love that. They just love jumping that high. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I went to see my grandma, my dad's mom. She's in a nursing home, so some days she remembers people, some days she doesn't. And luckily that day she did remember me, so that was really a good day to go in there and went in there with Shanann and the kids, and obviously they had already been in there a few times while they were there.
Sure.
Yeah, and they were. She lights up when she sees those kids. I call her Mama. That's what she always calls, but Mama. She light it up when she sees the kids, and she remembered me, and that was great. And my dad came and picked me up, and I went over there and stayed with my parents for a day and just kind of hung out with them. Saw my sister, her husband, their kids, had a little cookout and everything, and it was awesome. And then the next day, I think it was the 7th, August 7th, we went to her parents' house, had everything packed up, ready to go, and flew back here. And then got back on later on that night, the 7th, and then on the 8th I went back to work. And then on the 10th, that's when Shanann flew out to Arizona with Nicole, and I had the kids from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we went to a pool party on Saturday with Jeremy Lindstrom's, his son's turned 4, and they had a little pool party and everything over there, or a little mini pool, and it was water balloon fights. They had a big time. It was great. It was awesome. That was awesome. It was just seeing their faces and seeing how much they didn't really play with water balloons that much at all. So she would come over. She put one right in my pocket and just smacked it while I wasn't looking. She's a little trickster. So it was funny. And drove home, got back home, ate, and it was a really awesome day.
Okay. What happened after that?
So that was on Sunday. That was on that Sunday. So got the kids back, got them all showered up, got them to bed, and just pretty much waited around for hear from Shanann, because she was flying back that night, and her plane got delayed. There was a lot of dust storms in Arizona, and there was some other weather around that was delaying flights getting in there, and they didn't have a crew. That's why it was delayed. So her flight was supposed to get in around 11, but it didn't actually get in until about 2. So it was about, you want to just go into this now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So about 2 o'clock, she came into bed. At about 1:48, my doorbell picked up that she came in, but at 2 a.m., that's when she came into bed. And about 4 o'clock that morning, so my alarm went off, so that's when I usually get up, get ready for work and whatnot. So I get up, get dressed, brush my teeth, deodorant, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know if to take a shower because I work out in the oil field, but like I'll take a shower when I get home, type thing. And she told me before she got in that I want to wake up, when you get up, just take a shower, get the airport off me, type thing. So I woke her up about after I got ready and everything, and then we had a talk about selling the house and about separation and stuff like that. It was an emotional conversation. Obviously, we were both crying, and after we talked, she said she was going to take the kids to a friend's house, and that she'd be back later on that day. So, okay, that's fine. So I went downstairs and packed my lunch and filled my water jug and got my computer and everything and loaded my truck up, and I went to work. And then once I got to work, started working, and about 7:40 or so, I texted her like, hey, I hadn't heard from her. Okay, I didn't know where she was going. Like, I didn't know what friend's house she was taking them to, or what friends she was going to with the kids. So, hey, text me, let me know where you went, where you took the kids, and I didn't hear from her. Like, it's normal for her not to respond to me, because when she has her direct sales people, she'll get back to them first, because that's what she does. So for her not to respond back to me, that's happened plenty of times before. So continue working, and I noticed like it's about noon, she hasn't got back to me, like, hey, call me. I've called her once before that too. And then about 12:10, that's when I got a doorbell alarm on my phone saying someone was at the front door, and that was Nicole. And so I called her, and like, hey, what's going on? So I haven't heard from Shanann like all day, no texts, no calls. This is kind of strange. So Nicole was at the front door, and she's okay, her car's here, I can see her shoes, because we have this little rectangular long window next to the door. And she could see her shoes right there and whatnot. It's like something's going on. So like she called me. She said, all right, I can't get a hold of her. Something's going on. And that's when I came home. That's when I left to come home. So Nicole called me. All right, there's going to be a police officer here when you get here. Okay. They couldn't get in because the latch on the top door that's what we kind of put over just to make sure, if the kids try to go out the front door, they can, because that's there. But the keypad on the outside on the garage door doesn't work. So they had to wait until I got there. I got the garage door opener, I hit it, we went inside the house, and cars there, car seats are there, purse is still there, the phone's on the couch, her wedding ring sitting on the nightstand. And there's no sign of Bella, Celeste, or anywhere. And the police officer, I forget what the police officer's name was, but he was there, and he was just, once we found the phone, powered it up, and all the text messages came through as far as everybody was reaching out to her and everything, like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Everything good? And there was nothing there. It was a ghost town. And everything that was there just didn't make sense as far as what happened. So we started reaching out to a bunch of people. Any of your friends, anybody that hadn't reached out already, that, you know, had a car seat or had a kid in general, and nobody had heard from her. Nobody had a clue. Her mom hadn't reached out to her. My parents, nothing was there. And the officer, Detective Hover, detective, I'm not sure if you know the people that are involved.
Yeah, I can't remember how to say it.
Oh yeah, I think Detective Baumhauer, he came, and they were all, you know, taking questions from me, Nicole, her son Nick, that was there, and then went over to, they talked to my neighbor, because he has a camera facing, like, he picks up a few different angles and whatnot, and watched his video surveillance, didn't see anything as far as her leaving at all. So they're just right, where, how this happened. There's no video of her leaving the front at all. So we didn't know, we were just at a loss for words. Like, where is she? She witnessed leave everything here. Even the kid's medicine was still there. And I was right, she needs that. So the only thing that was gone was really the kids' blankets. Like everything they slept with, you know, Celeste has his big New York Yankees blanket and a little dinosaur and a little dog that makes noises and a turtle and something. It's a whole package. And Bella has two blankets, but one was still at the house, the other one was gone. And she has a dinosaur and a little swan blanket. Her other little